Here's the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee. The interior's gorgeous, and there's a Trailhawk 4Z plug-in hybrid. The two-row version of Jeep's cash printing machine is here. The 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee has finally arrived, slotting in alongside the three-row variant that was unveiled earlier this year. The standard two-row model gains essentially the same new tech and features, albeit with less interior passenger and cargo room. It's not all downsides, though, as the two-row model is also the first variant of the Grand Cherokee to incorporate Jeep's new 4Z plug-in hybrid powertrain. We covered quite a bit of ground with the unveiling of the Grand Cherokee L, so be sure to check that out if you're curious about any of the Grand Cherokee family's newer features. Let's start with the powertrain. As in the Wrangler and Wagoneer, the plug-in hybrid 4Z system comprises a 2.0-liter turbocharged ICE and a 100-kilowatt electric motor, along with a 17.3 kilowatt-hours battery pack for juice, which together produce 375 total system horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. Jeep says it's good for 25 miles of all-electric range, also on par with its other applications, and at launch, it will be the most powerful engine available in the Grand Cherokee, topping the 5.7-liter Hemi V8's 357 horses and the 3.6-liter V6's 293. The two-row Grand Cherokee is also the most off-road ready. While it already has a leg up on the three-row thanks to its shorter wheelbase, the five-seater also has the advantage of a dedicated off-road model in Trailhawk, which is to the Grand Cherokee nameplate what Rubicon is to Wrangler and Gladiator, representing the pinnacle of its off-road capability. Trailhawk models with the V6 and V8 get an extra 0.4 inches of ground clearance at the air suspension's max height setting, topping out at 11.3 inches. Trailhawk 4Z models adjust to the same max clearance as the standard Grand Cherokee, 10.9 inches. Standard height for all models is 8.4 inches off the ground. But there's more to Trailhawk than a rejiggered air suspension. In fact, for 2022, it gains a class-exclusive electronic sway bar disconnect, allowing for more articulation when things get particularly tricky underfoot. Trailhawks also come standard with all-terrain tires. Jeep's Quadra-Drive 2.4WD system with an electronic rear limited slip differential and the select terrain drive modes, plus all of the usual trail-ready exterior bits, skid plates, tow hooks, etc., along with front and rear bumpers designed to improve off-road clearances. All told, the 3.6L and 5.7L Trailhawks gain 5.6 degrees of approach angle, 1.8 degrees of breakover angle and 3.6 degrees of departure angle. The 4Z fares slightly worse, likely due to the added weight of the PHEV system, but performs at least as well as, and often better than, any other air suspension-equipped Grand Cherokee. Water fording depth is fixed at 24 inches, 61 centimeters, for all Trailhawk models. Inside, much of what we saw back in January still applies, but a few additional elements of Jeep's new range-topping Wagoneer SUV have obviously filtered down to the two-rows interior. The passenger side screen, checking in at 10.25 inches, is optimized for entertainment functions, and a second-row high-definition entertainment system with Amazon Fire TV integration is available too. Expand those options. The range-topping Summit 4Z cabin shown here certainly looks every bit the part of a luxury SUV. There's not a visible surface that appears neglected by Jeep's interior designers, who clearly wanted to lean into Grand Cherokee's legacy of being a premium SUV. The Summit is available with 2 wood trim packages, oak for the standard model, walnut for the Summit Reserve package, and upholstery options include cloth, leatherette with suede inserts, Napa leather and quilted Palermo leather, with some perforated variants sprinkled in for extra variety. As you might expect, there's quite a bit less available interior space, especially in the rear. However, eliminating the third row of seats means that much of the cargo space lost to the shortened wheelbase has been recovered, giving up only 9.2 cubic feet of cargo space behind the second row to the larger L overall. The Grand Cherokee gained more than 4.0 cubic feet of interior passenger volume and 1.4 cubic feet of cargo space over its predecessor in the move to this newer, more future-proof platform. Look for pricing and more efficiency details closer to the 2022 Grand Cherokee's arrival in showrooms. Gasoline models will begin to trickle into dealers late this year. 4Z production will begin early in 2022 for the US and later in the year for global markets.